What is up, you all? We're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about some potential Halloween franchise rumors that's coming from Senstealth over on X. But before we get into it, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. A lot of you all have been hitting me up with everything with Senstealth, and I am definitely familiar who Senstealth is. He's covering Scream content and all things horror movies and other movies. But to get into this, he says over on X that it's potential rumors out there that basically Jamie Lee Curtis can return as Laurie Strode in the Halloween franchise. And he says exactly, Jamie Lee Curtis has had conversations about reprising her iconic role as Laurie Strode, again. So we know that basically last year, Jamie Lee Curtis said never say never. So one thing I want to say about this, if you follow the channel, you know Michael Myers is big over here. We cover all things Halloween when it comes to that. Laurie Strode is my favorite final girl of all time. And so I'm going to touch on this. I will say, when it comes to Halloween lately, a lot of people just have not been feeling it, especially on a foot that it left off on with Halloween Ends. Personally, with me, I don't hate Halloween Ends. I love Ron Campbell's performance as Corey Cunningham, but just his performance, I do feel like he was misplaced. And Michael Myers, I'm not gonna lie, in that film particularly, I know he was injured and things like that, but it just didn't feel like the Michael we got from the previous two films. Now, pushing forward, it is ways that you can bring Laurie Strode back. Is ways I've touched on in many videos in the past. I've talked about even bringing her in Halloween 4, saying that, you know, she never died. We know in Halloween 4 they said she died from a car accident. Maybe she was so afraid of Michael that she ended up being, you know, scared and going into hiding and just leaving Haddonfield because she didn't want to deal with it no more, because mentally it was just burning a hole in her brain and she couldn't deal with Michael Myers no more. I've always said that I think it'll be cool if that was something, because especially when you're dealing with somebody like Michael Myers, it could be to the point that Laurie Strode doesn't want to fight with him anymore. She just want to leave. And you know, we saw in H2O that she even did something similar to that when she changed her name from Laurie Strode to Karen Tate. Now, I have heard, you know, a theory out there where basically saying that she actually did not actually have the van or whatever, and Michael, her and he's in the back unzipping a body bag, it was all in her mind, which I think is a great theory. I think it's something that can definitely play in part with H2O, especially with her son John. I always also say I think it'll be cool if they had some type of storyline where Jamie Lloyd meets her brother John, like they connect. It's a lot of things that goes on in Halloween when it comes to these timelines and things like that. So I mean, it's ways that you could bring Laurie Strode back, but do we really need Laurie Strode? You know, we got the TV series possibly in the works. We haven't heard too much about it. I think that, you know, when it comes to Halloween, it all depends on the timeline you're aiming for. I will say, people say they want a whole new timeline, a fresh start. I feel like if we get a fresh start, a new timeline, there's no point of bringing, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode, because the trilogy really was the story told. You know what I'm saying? It was 78, 2018, kills and ends. Now, one thing I will say that I always talked about was, why do they kind of just move Halloween 3 to the side, because it's technically not a Michael Myers movie, and we get a sequel to Halloween 2 right from after everything that happened in the hospital. We know that Michael got cooked, but that would probably be a little eerier if we have like a burned, you know, Michael. I mean, technically, people see, it's so crazy with the timelines. They say that Halloween 4 connected to Halloween 2, and that's why he was burned. I mean, if you want to even just kind of decanon Halloween 4 and just put another film behind Halloween 2 and call it Halloween 3, that will be cool. But one thing I will say is, I think it's too soon to even be talking about like who's returning to a franchise or anything with Halloween, because as far as we know, we know us as Halloween fans, right? We're the ones that are diehard fans. We know everything Michael Myers, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis. As far as we know, we seen her actually put him in a fucking meat grinder and he's nothing anymore. So okay, say if they do come out with a new Halloween movie and it's Laurie Strode is back, the final girl, and the boogeyman, they come back together, right? Your average viewer that just knows Michael Myers is going after his sisters and I'm like, hold up, pump your brakes, what the fuck is going on? She just killed him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's not confirmed, it's just a rumor, but think of it like that. So say if Laurie Strode does come back, right? A lot of people that don't know too much about the timelines and how crisscross they can get, they're going to think like, okay, he just got smashed into nothing. How the fuck is there, they returning? And then even if you throw the timeline out, like, hey, this is a different timeline, they're still not going to understand, really. I mean, you can even do the Halloween 4 route where it's no Jamie Lee Curtis at all and do, hey, I talked about this before on the channel. Danielle Harris returns as Jamie Lloyd. She's older. She's the new final girl. We remember the pitch that she brought up on Talk Scary to me on her podcast, saying that basically she gave a pitch to the cards and said that, hey, maybe, Danielle Harris returns is later in the years. She's older. She has like this sidekick type of ability where it passed down to her daughter and stuff like that. And yeah, that's cool, but I think that's all about the viewer, who's going to be able to take it in and understand these are different timelines and things like that. I just think overall it's a little too early to be, trying to bring Laurie Strode back. You got to give it a woosah, like a break. Like, I remember when Halloween, came out 2007, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Boom, people didn't like that, and then we got a break from 2007 to 2018. Like, something like that is different because it's like you get a refresher. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're back with the final girl. I think right now it's just, we got the TV series in the works. Once again, we did not hear shit about that. Even nothing posted on the Halloween portal. But I will say, it's ways you can bring Laurie Strode back if you are a good writer. Like I said, for me, you could say she faked her death in Halloween 4 to go into hiding because she didn't want to be involved. She felt that she wasn't a good mother to Jamie Lloyd. She just wanted to go away and not cause any more problems because she feels that anywhere she goes, Michael Myers comes and he kills everybody around her. You know what I'm saying? So I think 4 for me is like the best way to do it because you have your Jamie Lloyd fans, you have your Laurie Strode fans, and we do know in the past at the red carpet event for Halloween Ends, there was a situation that happened with Danielle Harris and Laurie Strode. We all know about that. They talked about it on the podcast. Maybe they put the issues to the side and they said, hey, let's go for it. People want to see this. They want to see the daughter and the mother. But once again, that is still messy because you just had a daughter in the fucking trilogy. You had Karen, and then you had a granddaughter, Allison. So I'm saying I will understand that, like, oh, it's 2 different timelines. But my fucking aunt won't understand that. It'll hurt ticket sales. That's just the reality of it. I know a lot of y'all have been begging me to talk about this. That's genuinely how I feel. I feel like right now, and it's coming from a guy who loves Laurie Strode. I have this woman tattooed on me, bro. I really love her, but I think that we will either have to give the whole franchise a genuine break and sit back and think about things, or the TV series can give us that little break, have different characters, fresh new blood, like characters similar to Allison, Vicky, and Dave. I'm going to stick to that. Like type of young characters, new faces like Oscar, and then we go back to doing some stuff like that, but just kind of jumping straight in after the trilogy doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna just be honest. It's gonna have people confused and things like that. But I do like that theory that someone brought to me saying that like H2O, it could be something where basically none of that actually happened. It wasn't no body switch or things like that. But then it seems like, okay, once you start thinking about it, you're like, okay, in Resurrection, they acknowledge when he pulls the mask off and you see the paramedic. So that can't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you kind of just decanon Resurrection. Also, I mean, people don't like Resurrection anyways, but I mean, I think that can be cool. But I think the most solid will be three things. Whole new timeline to include Laurie Strode again, which is silly as hell because she has her own one right now, her own story. Or she faked her death for Halloween 4. She reunites with her daughter, and they going, back into Haddonfield as a family, and Michael comes back. The other one is a sequel to Halloween 2. A fair Halloween 3. No Season of the Witch. A real solid Halloween 3 that goes in the middle of 2 and 4. Or you can make your own trilogy go 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? Kind of make it just like its own story. Pretty much. Or you can even have people out there that can go real crazy and say, hey, she faked her death in Resurrection. She fell off the fucking building and somehow she survived and she ran off in the woods. And Michael Myers, as Freddie Harris would say, he returns as chicken stir fried, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. I love Laurie Strode. She's getting old. Well, Jamie Lee Curtis is Laurie Strode. She's getting very old, and I would love to see her back on screen. Love it, love it, love it. But I think the TV series, I think my boy Michael deserves to be on a big screen, not a TV series. That's just me. But I'm down for anything that's Halloween related because it's simply my favorite franchise of all time. But in reality, once again, I think the best way to go is like Halloween 4 for real. Have the one of the two best characters in the franchise return. Danielle Harris, Jamie Lee Curtis reunite, mother and daughter. Even though we already seen that in a trilogy, Karen and fucking the Strodes, Allison, Laurie, and fucking Karen. But I mean, this is not even confirmed. It's just rumors. And you know, if it is confirmed, that is crazy. But she did say, never say never, last year when she did her little Hollywood shit with Walk of Fame or whatever with her hand. So yeah, and got her star put down. So comment down below, what do you guys think? How could Laurie Strode return to the Halloween franchise? Would you be down for that? Do you think it's just too early, or you want to see something fresh? Or are you excited for the TV series? Let me know down in the comments below. Unfortunately, this is the end of this video. I want y'all to hit me up on all my social medias at ILIKESCARY, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.